Hello and hi everyone. My name is ARIFAH binti Ibrahim. My ID number is IDA 2077052.
My ID number is IDA 2007018.
Hi, my name is Muhammad Sharif. My ID number is IDA 2007014. Are we talking about Islamic is literally meaning of peace and obedience, and the adherence to Islam must be obedient to God and appreciate the purpose of their existence in this world.
Islamic accounting based on ethical law originating in the Quran, which is As-Sunnah and Islamic law. So, full disclosure to satisfy any reasonable demand for information in accordance with the Sharia, and public accountability is to focus on the community who participate in exploiting resources. Islamic accounting as a whole is very much capable to serve all of its stakeholders. Its divine principles serve not only the interests of any particular entity of group, but also the society as well.
There is conventional accounting based upon modern commercial law, permissive rather than the ethical limited disclosure, provision of information subject to public interest, and personal accountability is to focus on individuals who control the resource.
This is the few difference of Islamic versus conventional. So the first is come from Allah Subhanahu Alaihi Wasallam, the Almighty, which is designed to respect the rights of others and avoiding his use of other people's property.
Why, for the conventional, it comes from the economic rationality. It is a human-made system.
Second, to ensure transparent, adequate and accurate financial information of an organization, and the process is compatible with the Sharia law as well as social and economic regulation.
For the conventional, to ensure optimum utilization of scarce resource restricted to profitable activity through available information in the market, which is incompatible with Sharia law.
The third is social relationship, human belief and recognition of humanity in the legal context of Sharia, ensure a healthy society and keep economic, political leverage away from the hand of wealthy people.
For the conventional, human relations are firmly tied with profitability.
Next, on divine commandments presented by the Holy Quran, Hadith and Islamic doctrine.
Why, for the conventional, carry out based on the generally accepted accounting principle, or recalled as GAAP.
Other than that, the goals of Islamic accounting, such as usefulness for decision making, accountability, Islamic responsiveness, and accountability through zakat.
Why, for conventional, aim to help economic decision making whose ultimate purpose is to efficiently allocate scarce resources in some profitable ways.
Last but not least, Islamic accounting system as a successful and proven accounting system for all the organization.
And for the conventional system that is identify, record, and communicate the economic event of organization to its interest user.
What is code of ethics? The word ethics is derived from the Greek word ethos, which means the character, spirit, and attitude of a group of people or culture. Ethics related to moral and the treating of moral questions. Ethics also indicates a philosophical reflection on moral belief and practice, and ethics is a conscious stepping back and reflecting on morality. Ethics also also can be defined as a set of moral principles, value or acceptable behavior. Ethics should be cohesively implemented in accounting practices because ethics clearly signal and distinguish right from wrong, good from bad, and justice from injustice. And say that ethics is about principle, value, and belief, which influence judgment and behavior. It goes beyond obeying law, rules, and regulations. It is about doing the right thing in the circumstances. The existence of trust is essential to business and society. Ethics instruction has increasingly become an established component of accounting education. Accounting ethics research has participated in this change in accounting education by providing tools to assess both the current level of ethical development of accounting students and the effect of adding ethics to the curriculum. Employees at Islam financial institutions are bound by a code of ethics. In Islamic, integrity is prized because it requires people to be honest and truthful in their acts. To accomplish this, an accountant must be well versed in his field and capable of exercising authority with skill. Ethics is important to accountants and those who rely on information provided by accounting. Ethical behavior entails taking the moral point of view. Thus, accounting can be considered as a moral discipline as it is required accountancy to have a responsibility to the society, to clearly communicate data that do impact in decision making.
The Governance and Ethics Board of the Accounting and Auditing Organization for Islamic Financial Institution, or we can call it the short form is IOFI, approved the issuance of the finance standard and the Code of Ethics for Islamic Finance Professionals. This organization aims at harmonizing the form with the spirit of Islamic finance and protect the industry from operational risks, in particular the Sharia, non-compliance and reputational risks.
Next is Malaysian Institute of Accountants. The objective of MIA is that members are exhibit the highest standard of professionalism and professional conduct that are expected of the profession to ensure that the bylaws are relevant and meet the need of both the profession and the stakeholder involved. The council amend the bylaw from time to time.
So now we are going to debate about Code of Ethics for AAOP versus MIA. So what do you think about AAOP?
Okay, the first code of ethics for AAOP is the trustworthiness. High degree of integrity, truthfulness, honesty and probity, and respect of confidentiality of information. Present and communicate relevant financial and non-financial information honestly, truthfully, and with adequate transparency.
For MIA, it's about integrity. It means that MIA supposed to be straightforward and honest in all professional business relationship.
Okay. The second one is legitimacy. All professional duties must be according to Sharia. Priority of accountability to Allah, our accountability to others. Aware of relevant Sharia rules and principles, especially regarding financial transactions through formal training.
For objectivity, it is not to allow bias, conflict of interest, or undue influence of others to override professional or business judgments.
Okay. The third one is objectivity for IIOP. Okay. Fair, impartial, and unbiased, free from conflict or interest, and independence in facts and as well as in appearance. Avoid actual or apparent conflict of interest such as personal or family relationship.
For MIA, professional competence and due care, It is to maintain professional knowledge and skill at the level required to ensure that a client or employer receives competent professional service based on current developments in practice, legislations and techniques, and act diligently and in accordance with applying technical and professional standards.
Next is the professional competence and diligence for IOP. Performing duties diligently and properly and accountable to Allah first and foremost, and others such as superiors, profession, client and society. Provide high quality work of professional service in accordance with Sharia rules and principles and relevant law.
For MIA, for the point of confidentially, it is to respect the confidentiality of information acquired as a result of professional and business relationship, and therefore not disclose any such information to third parties without proper and specific authority unless there is a legal or professional right or duty disclose, nor use the information for the personal advantage of the professional accountant or third parties.
Okay. Next is for IOP. The next point is faith-driven conduct. Behavior and conduct consistent with Islamic values and Sharia rules and principles. Show love and brotherhood for the sake of Allah to enhance cooperation and trust when dealing with others.
And for the last point for MIA is professional behavior. It is to comply with relevant laws and regulations and should avoid any conduct that discredits the profession.
Okay. The last point for IOP is the professional conduct and technical standard. Comply with relevant standards as adopted by the society if it does not violate the Sharia rules and principles. Comply with relevant accounting and auditing standards and perform professional duty diligently.
So the next question is, in what way can the Islamic concept of piety assist the accountants to become ethical? The Prophet Muhammad said, piety is good manner and sin is that which creates doubt and which you do not like people to know it. It is also the fear of Allah in secret and public. Way that piety assists the accountants is laid for protections of the accountants themselves and from bad consequences as a result deviations from the commitment of Sharia, particularly in the area of money. That is the charm of them. Next, piety will make the accountants realize by compliance with the orders of Allah and avoid his prohibitions. Allah said, "Oh, you who have believed, fear Allah as he should be feared and do not die except as Muslims." Allah also saying, "And whoever fears Allah, he will make for him a way out." After that, piety also will make them to consist Islamic values which derive from the provisions and principles of Islamic law or Sharia. Then, when they are doing their job, Allah said in Al-Quran to approve that all Muslims' actions should be for Allah and only say, "Indeed, my prayer, my recites of sacrifice, my living and my dying are for Allah, Lord of the worlds." This will make the accountant or human realize upon Allah. Indeed, Allah will accomplish His purpose. Allah has already said for everything extant. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Truth leads to piety and piety leads to Jannah."
Rules of ethical conduct based on trustworthiness are: the first one is refrain from using confidential information for an unethical advantage. Next, refrain from any actions or behaviors that may jeopardize the institution's religious and ethical objectives. The next one is present and communicate relevant financial and non-financial information honestly, truthfully, and with adequate transparency. And the last one is refrain from disclosing confidential information unless required by the relevant accounting and auditing standards.
Trustworthiness is the potential to maintain guarantee to be first, sincere, second, reliable, third, by no means inappropriately betraying a self-assurance. Primarily based on Islamic measurement, trustworthiness refers to now not fear of Allah, no longer using our ayahs to their very own advantage, and not fear of mankind, except a trustworthy accountant is aware of their accounting with Allah, is aware about the kingdom of being the servant of Allah and being the Khalifah in this global. In addition, their primary duty is to manage the world according to Allah's wishes and set up accurate relationship among mankind. The accountant needs to uphold Allah's Sharia based on totally what Allah has been ordered by using him, uphold justice among human beings with non-racial prejudice, and be sensitive to the troubles confronted by their subjects.
وعد الله الذين آمنوا منكم وعملوا الصالحات ليستخلفنهم في الأرض كما استخلف الذين من قبلهم وليمكنن لهم دينهم الذي ارتضى لهم وليبدلنهم من بعد خوفهم أمنا يعبدونني لا يشركون بي شيئا ومن كفر بعد ذلك فأولئك هم الفاسقون.
Allah has said, Allah has promised, the one who have believed among you and performed righteous deeds, that he will generally furnish them succession to upon the earth just as he granted it to those early than them, and that he will truly establish for them their religion which he has favored for them, and that he will clearly replacement for them after their worry, safety, their worship me, now not associating something with me. However, whoever disbelieves after that, then those are definitely disobedient.
Trustworthiness is the core of the leadership, and it has three concepts. So the first concept is a leader's success depends on his or her ability to carry out his duties according to what Allah has outlined in the Quran. Second concept is a leader should be trustworthy, since trust is a moral responsibility for everyone in the performance of their duties and their social, political, and also economic life. The last concept is a leader will get the reward of heaven as promised by Allah if he is able to lead his people to the path that Allah wants, and a leader practices the sunnah when he manages and administers his leadership for the sake of Allah.
The last one is, do you think these ethics rules are sufficient to discipline accountant trustworthiness? We all know that accounting is a profession of trustee of stakeholder of an institution. Therefore, accountants should follow a superior ethic code for professional guidance. Amanah plays a vital role resolving the ethical problems among accountants. It clearly shows that these ethical rules are sufficient to discipline an accountant. When their ethical rules are applied, they will look to Islam as a shepherd which required from their followers and believers to be trustworthiness with Allah first and with themselves, and finally with their communities.